Be strong.
So hello everyone, it's Kidz here. Are you ready to get started? Let's get started. So hello everyone. Our lesson this week is Solomon Asked for Wisdom, and it's from 1 Kings chapter 3, verses 3 to 14. So now I'm going to send you over to Miss Latoya for our memory verse and prayer, and I'll see you right back here in just a minute.
Thank you for joining me for another memory verse this week. So this week we're in the book of 1 Kings chapter 3 verse 3. Our vocab this week, our word is statutes. That means written law that is passed. Here's our verse. And Solomon loved the Lord, walking in the statutes of his father David. That's 1 Kings chapter 3 verse 3. Join me for another verse. Bye-bye. All right, you guessed it. It's time to pray before we start our lesson. Yep, bow your heads, close your eyes. Here we go. Dear Lord, thank you for another Sunday to hear your word. Thank you for Miss Cleo for sharing the word with us today this week. Thank you for our children for taking the time out to hear the word. May they share one thing they learned today with someone. We are excited to see what our children will do with the word. Thank you in advance for all you have done for us. Thank you for your continued blessings, your continued healings. Thank you for everything. Amen. Back to Miss Cleo for our lesson for today.
So welcome back everyone. As I said, our lesson this week is Solomon Asked for Wisdom, and it's from the book of 1 Kings chapter 3, verses 3 to 14. If you could ask God for anything, what would you ask him for? We're going to see a king here that is given that opportunity and see what he asks God for. So I'm going to be reading it from the NIRV Adventure Bible for Early Readers. And our illustrations will be presented by Moody Publishers and FreeBibleImages.com. So I'm in 1 Kings chapter 3, verses 3 through 6. Solomon showed his love for the Lord. He did it by obeying the laws his father David had taught him. But Solomon offered sacrifices at the high places. He also burned incense there. King Solomon went to the city of Gibeon to offer sacrifices. That's where the most important high place was. He offered 1,000 burnt offerings on the altar that was there. Now, Solomon just said he was taught the laws of the Lord that Moses had sent down from his father David. Now, when they were to bring their sacrifices to the Lord, it was supposed to be done at the Tent of Meetings. Remember, that's where the Lord dwelled with them. The children of Israel were now setting up altars outside of the Tent of Meetings, and they were bringing their burnt offerings out there, and those were false gods. David never did this, but Solomon is doing this. The Lord appeared to Solomon at Gibeon. He spoke to him in a dream that night. God said, "Ask anything you want me to give you." So Solomon having a dream, and the Lord has come to him and is saying, "Ask what you would want from me." What would you ask for? Would you ask for all the money in the world? Would you ask for all the power? Would you ask to live forever? Let's see what Solomon asked for. So we're reading from verse 6 down to 9. Solomon answered, "You have been very kind to my father David, your servant. That's because he was faithful to you. He did what was right. His heart was honest, and you have continued to be very kind to him. You have given him a son to sit on his throne this very day. Lord my God, you have now made me king. You have put me in the place of my father David. But I am only a little child. I don't know how to carry out my duties. I am here among the people you have chosen. They are a great nation. They are more than anyone can count. So give me a heart that understands, that I can rule over your people. I can tell the difference between what is right and what is wrong. Who can possibly rule over this great nation of yours?" Wow. Solomon just said, "Lord, I'm a king now, but I'm really inexperienced. I really don't know how to rule over your people." And he's saying, I want to judge them, but I want to judge them fairly. So that is really humbling of him to just admit that, I really don't know what I'm doing and I really need your help, Lord. Solomon at this time was about 20 years old, and his desire really was not to be a great king. He wanted to be a good king. And so let's see what God says. So we're going to read verse 10 to 14. The Lord was pleased that Solomon had asked for that. So God said to him, "You have not asked to live for a long time. You have not asked to be wealthy. You have not even asked to have your enemies killed. Instead, you have asked for understanding. You want to do what is right and fair when you judge people. Because that is what you have asked for, I will give it to you. I will give you a wise and understanding heart. So here is what will be true of you. There has never been anyone like you, and there will never be." So God said to him, "I like that. You didn't even ask for the riches. You didn't even ask for your enemies to be killed. But Solomon just wanted to have a heart to serve God and not be selfish and be fair with his people." Reading verse 13. "And that's not all. I will give you what you have not asked for. I will give you riches and honor as long as you live. No other king will be as great as you are. Live the way I want you to. Obey my laws and commands just as your father David did. Then I will let you live for a long time." So God said, "I'll give you those riches and make you a great king." But he added one stipulation, though, for living long. He said, "You have to obey my laws. If you obey my laws, you'll have a long life." So I guess, what can we take away from this? It's better to ask for spiritual things than ask for earthly things. So that's the end of our story. Hope you liked it. I'll see you again later.
Be strong.